So the game we're going to be talking about is a game called Trigger Witch. It came out July 29th of this year, so really recent. It was developed by Rainbite and published by East Asia Soft. There is a physical version that is available on PlayAsia.com. It is exclusive. And this game is one of those they showed off. I saw the trailer personally, and I was kind of like, this could be fun. But I'm really curious to hear, Greg, what did you think of this game before I get into my thoughts?
Actually, surprisingly, I was unsure what to expect. Like when I was first going to request it, and then once I got into playing it, I had a phenomenal experience. Like I really enjoyed being like a witch that just had like a gun in her hand at all times and would just be using that to take down all these different monsters and enemies and stuff that you find roaming in the wild. Um, the story really had me driven to try to go see the goblins and stuff, and I'm actually pretty far into the game and really would like to complete it at some point. But it's I've been having a blast, and it's that perfect balance of like just challenging but not like overwhelmingly challenging. So I really appreciate that. Like you can easily keep trying different areas if you die and just going back and redoing it, and you're able to just continue on. So that's an awesome thing to have. I had a problem gathering the currency to buy the different upgrades. It's they just drop it like it's nothing. Like you're almost in like the Mushroom Kingdom. It's just very plentiful. So I had a lot of fun destroying a number of the different bosses, and it's very creative how they even have like some on rail shooting portions where you're riding on a broomstick and stuff and taking down enemies in that way too. That was a really cool touch to see in a few different areas of the game.
Yeah, this game took me 100% by surprise, and that's why I wanted to hear your thing first. Um, if you are a fan of twin stick shooters, and more importantly, if you're a fan of 2D Zelda games, especially Link to the Past, this game is right up your alley. It is it is really Zelda with guns. There's dungeons, there's a giant overworld to explore, there's tons of secrets, upgrades, a fun story, great characters. It kept me engaged to the point that I pretty much 100% completed it. I didn't get like all the trophies because some of it required you like level everything up, and I didn't level everything up. But I got every hidden item. I beat every dungeon. I beat the game. I upgraded most of the stuff. I gained as like a bat familiar. I gained that. I maxed P, the whole 9 yards. It's a really cool risk rewarding system because you have, you could expand your life, which I did all the way, but you also have healing potions. So instead of like, oh, I need to find hearts, which you won't hearts won't drop, you can use a potion and then your potion's empty, and the more enemies you kill, it fills back up, which I thought was a great system because it really let you go out there and try and kill these enemies and get your potions back up to heal, to mix and match. Like, do I play cautiously or do I just go at it? The weapons were great. There's like 9 different weapons, plus your basic weapon, which is unlimited. The other ones have limited ammo, but they replenish over time, so it's not like it's, oh, I need to go buy ammo. You don't have to worry about that. But you can upgrade them. The game is about, I'm gonna say I did about maybe 5 to 6 hours, which is a good length. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It the dungeons themselves, that you could see there's some kind of borrowing. There's like one dungeon with a bunch of flames, and like they all get extinguished, and you have to track down the flames, which is very reminiscent of like the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time, where the Poes take the flames. So I saw things like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. This is clearly some inspiration, but the dungeons were creative. They they weren't overly complex, and I found them to be very fun. The overworld wasn't random; it's set in stone. The map system they have is very good. This is just, I mean, this gets to the top of my recommendation list of an indie title. Like, I did went into this not expecting to really fall in love with it, and I fell in love with this game.
Yeah, I
What about
definitely
you?
share those same sentiments. Like I'm thinking it's going to be like indie game of the year worthy. so far for me, because this I've really enjoyed my time with this. Like, it's so incredible that you have like the 360 aiming with the second joystick to hit the enemies, and like they're constantly pursuing you. So then you can like run around and try to dodge them from running into you and shooting their projectiles at you. It's just such a blast just to like go through, and it's I didn't quite beat the game yet, and I think I'm around that same time frame that you've played it, but I only have like a dungeon or two left before I finish up the game. Um, and I've just been using the standard weapon just because I don't like having to wait for ammo, so I just find myself just using the standard one, which I upgraded 100% just because it's like, well, this is the one I'm kind of stuck with. So like I've primarily focused on upgrading that one initially. So it's I had a lot of fun with it. It's very good, and like you said, the dungeon design is fantastic. The soundtrack is excellent as well, and it's got like that Link to the Past like style graphics. So it's definitely a fun game all around.
Yeah, yeah, I did the same. I used the standard weapon, I upgraded it, and then I switched to a couple other different ones. Like sometimes you have to use the flamethrower in like the
Yep.
dungeon. You get it like Zelda. You know, you get the item in a dungeon, you use that item, you use to get the flamethrower. You need the flamethrower in that dungeon, but then you don't necessarily need it again. But if that's your favorite, you can pick and choose which secondary weapons you want, and you get two secondaries plus your unlimited, which is cool. And you can switch on the fly. Just excellently done. There's like I said, the currency to upgrade. There's a ton of things to upgrade. There's a ton of replay value, and a ton to go for if you want 100%. You're talking about even going to the goblins. There's more after you go to the goblins. There's a whole nother half of the map, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
I've already done like one of the dungeons there, and I was in process
Okay,
of getting through a second one. So like I
yeah.
did the
So
one where you
you're
have to
you're
like
good there.
esc- I did the one with the escort mission, going throughout all the different
Oh,
bridges and whatnot.
that was the first
That
one I
was
did
a
there
really
too.
creative one too.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the story about what happens at the end of it, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but these the dungeons all have stories. They're not just we're in this dungeon for the sake of dungeon. There's a reason you're there. There's a story within the dungeon, and there's a story resolution after. And it's there's so much praise I want to sing to this game. But Greg,
Exactly.
recommend yay or nay?
Oh, 100% yay. Easily worth it. I don't even have to tell you like whatever it's worth. It's if you find it on sale, even better. But at its current price, it's definitely worth it for the amount of hours you can get in to sink into and learning this great gameplay.
I'm gonna echo that. I'm not sure how much it costs now. I mean, I bought the physical, and if the physical I think is still available, if you're a physical collector, I highly recommend getting that. But then I got the code to review, and if you're not a physical guy, you don't care, you just get digital, whatever it is, it's worth it. If you like Zelda, 15, that's well worth it. Well worth $15. If you like Zelda, if you like twin stick shooters, if that's the kind of thing that you really enjoy, absolutely, hands down. After this podcast, download this game. You are not going to be disappointed. It is that good.
Yes, 100% agreed with that.